Hi, today we're going to talk about preparing you for starting an eBay reselling business. Hi, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to talk a little bit about how to prepare yourself for starting a business on eBay. And I have 5 tips I'm going to share with you. And hopefully they will help you get prepared. Don't let them hold you back. Just jump right into it and get yourself started. But these are some simple steps to preparing yourself, basically. So when I got started on eBay, I started in 1999, and I really did just maybe a year's worth of selling, and it was because I sold out of a gift shop and I had stuff left in my inventory that I wanted to sell, so I went on to eBay and sold the rest of them. Then life took me in different directions, and I didn't sell on the platform for a long time, and in 2018, I decided to join a partner. We became business partners, and we started selling on eBay. And as we were doing that, I started finding things around my house that I really wanted to sell, but I didn't really want to put them on our platform, so I pulled my eBay store back up, which was still active, and I started listing the items I had around the house and started selling. Well, I always enjoyed going to auctions and yard sales and rummage sales, that type of thing. And I was still going to them, but I sold at an antique mall, so that's where most of my inventory went. But I decided to start putting them on eBay because it reaches a bigger crowd, and it seems like you can sell things faster sometimes, depending on the size, obviously. I didn't want to put the big stuff on there, so I decided to do lots of small stuff. So I started that about a year ago, 2019, and I'm still running both stores. One of the biggest finds I found was at an auction where I ended up going home with, I spent $60 and got a car full of stuff. And at the very end of the auction, it's when a lot of people are kind of dispersing and there's not a whole lot left. There was probably about 20 boxes on the ground full of stuff, and there was only a few of us bidders that were bidding on things. And most of the boxes were going for $2.50, but in the end nobody wanted any more. And I had glanced through all of them and found a couple little things out of all the boxes that I wanted. So when he started throwing out the offers, my offer got us up to $2.50 for all the rest of the boxes. So I ended up getting them all for $2.50 and loaded them in my car, brought them home, and I was going through one, and there was Hardy Boy mystery books in one. Now I know they're pretty common, but these had white dust covers on them, and I thought, I have never seen these before with the cover on like that. And you take the dust cover off, and the cover of the book was actually pretty plain. It just said Hardy Boy Mysteries on it, something like that. And I started looking them up and thought, wow, there was probably 18 to 20 books in there. And I sold all of them for about $1,000. I sold them individually. Some went for 60 and some went for 30. And in the end, they all sold, and the total was about $1,000. So that hooked me. I figured if I can get that for $2.50 and turn it into 1,000, which actually wasn't $2.50, it was probably more like 25 cents because of the 10, 15 boxes that I got. So once I was hooked, I promised myself to post as many items as I could, and I know I posted items that I really didn't need to or want to, but a lot of the stuff came with other stuff that I bought at an auction, so I thought, I have it, I might as well list it. Well, So if an item is not highly sought after, it's going to sit on your eBay store for a long time, which is fine if you're okay with that, which I was. So I ended up getting up to my 50 listings, which is the free version of eBay that you can sign up for. And then I was going to have to start paying. So I I thought I'm going to do this. I'm going to put full force into this, and I ended up posting about 1,000 listings in about a year, maybe a little over a year's time. And I kind of stay around that. It's 1,000 to 1,100, somewhere in that category, that amount. I really just want to go through these 5 steps with you, and I kind of got off on a little run there. So let's start with the 5 steps that might help you get started in your business. Number 1, I'm going to look at my list, is take baby steps. I don't want you quitting your job, let's put it that way. Just take baby steps, learn as you go. Just do what you can when you can do it. If you're working your full-time job, you come home, you have to make supper, you have to tend to the kids, whatever you have to do, find your hour time and put your full force into it. Make sure you're dedicated to that hour and focused. Don't have the TV playing or YouTube playing. That's what I tend to do. And just totally focus on what you're doing and get listings up. But don't quit your job right away until you know you can replace your salary and you are ready to do that. Finding items around the house is one way to get started, and if you can't find items around your own house, maybe ask your parents, your friends, your family. Even post it on Facebook Marketplace saying you're looking for items that people are wanting to donate anyway, and you can get started that way and make a little bit of money. That way you can reinvest it back into buying more product. Some items, again, if you're not going to sell easily, so you may want to pick and choose, but if you're just getting started and you don't really know what to look for, just take the items and then research it. You can always donate it yourself. But that's one way to get inventory to start selling and to build up a little bit of income to reinvest back into the business. It also helps you get used to using the platform. So you're not investing money into these products and then losing money online because you didn't really understand how to do the shipping, or you listed it wrong, or you did an auction. It's just getting used to all the terms and the back office of the eBay platform, the listing page, so understanding what you're paying for. And doing this slowly and taking baby steps is going to help you learn it, and in no time you'll understand it and you can move forward. I also wanted to add that it is not necessary to set up an LLC or even get a business license like an EIN number through the state until you are positive that this is what you want to do. So you get 50 free listings through eBay. At least try to do the 50 free and see if this is something that's working for you, and if it's going to work out for you even more and you want to put more effort into it. That's what I would do to get started. Once you're established and you're selling things and you're excited about it and you have more than 50 listings, then you may want to at least get a checking account so you can have them send your payment directly to your business checking account instead of your regular checking account. I think I would wait at least till you have 50 listings before you start considering turning it into an actual business. The great thing about eBay is you can test it out, take it for a test drive. The second step is developing a hard shell. Now, this one was a hard one for me because I've always been so sensitive to what other people think. And as I got older, I decided, it's not worth it. I don't care what other people think. Everybody's living their own life and they all have their own issues and problems, and we don't know what them are. And it's just nice to to go out in public and be with other people that are happy, that are friendly, that are going to treat you nicely. But that's not always the way the world works. And there are people on eBay, as in brick and mortar stores, storefronts, that will be rude, demanding, lie to you, and try to scam you. And I have to put this out there because that's just the way it is. And if eBay has implemented a lot of new rules that has tried to get rid of a lot of this. And they do help the sellers out. So if you do have a problem, you can always refer back to eBay and give them a call and see if they can help you out. And they're totally against scammers, and they will do what they can, but they look at both sides of every situation. So that's one thing. You have to develop a hard shell because they may call you names because of what your business policies are. If you don't ship, like say international shipping, or say you use the global shipping program through eBay, they want you to ship it directly through USPS first class or something on that order. And this has happened to me. That's why I'm using this as a story. And I just said, no, I only use the global shipping program. And they called me every name in the book and told me I was stupid and couldn't believe that I didn't ship directly internationally. And I wasn't ready for that. I just am uncomfortable doing that. So I just refused to do it. But I blocked them, and end of story. So there's ways to get around it. There's ways to not have to deal with customers like that because you don't need to. We're not in this to have to struggle and be called names. And as long as you're being professional, that's the important thing. As a business person, you have to be professional. You can't tell them what you really think. You need to be kind and polite in return to somebody like that, but you can put in measures that help you, like blocking them so they don't come back to your platform or your store and buy anymore. And I hate blocking people from buying. That's not a fun thing to do, but it's something you have to do when it comes down to that. You're only going to deal with people like that maybe 1 in every 100 transactions, maybe 1 in 50. There's other situations that could arise, like somebody wants to return something and says it was broke or it wasn't as described, and you deal with that even though you know you were right and that you did say it the way it was supposed to. You have to deal with that. That's just one thing of doing business. So the next thing, number 3, you're doing it right now. You're watching other resellers on YouTube. I highly suggest this because I have learned so much in the past year of watching other resellers. They are always giving tips. They show their hauls. They show the different products that they buy and that what they have luck with and the prices that they're selling the things for. I totally suggest you doing that. I do it every day. I still do it. I'm not an expert at this. I have done it for about 2 years full time. I'm always learning. Every day is another learning session for me. So continue to be educated and watch YouTube videos. I can't suggest it enough. Okay, and number 4 is research products, but not forever. So what I mean by that is you can research products and keep researching, and it's going to take you away from actually starting. So just do this so you get a good understanding of the niche that you're in. Let's say you go onto eBay, just the regular, not your selling platform, but just onto eBay, and you search items and you go into the niche that you like. You could go into, say you like tools or coins, and you go and you pull up coins, just a wide category. And on the left side, all the way down, you click on solds. And then on the top, you go sort by price, the highest price. And you can see what's all selling in your category. And you keep scrolling down and scrolling down. You'll see everything that's sold. I think it goes back 3 months, I'm pretty sure. But if you go down, you'll see what the lowest ones have sold for. So if most of the stuff in your category is on the low end, that's your choice. If you want to sell coins for $10 or less and put that time into the listings, that's your prerogative. So if you want to look for higher priced items, which it seems like a lot of us do, the higher priced things that we can find around at thrift stores or flea markets is the better option, because obviously you're putting the same amount of time into each listing, whether you're selling it for $10 or $50. So when I say, but don't research forever, I want you to get started, because it's constantly a research project. Every time you buy an item, I'm in the vintage category, so every time I buy an item, I have to research it, because a lot of times it's something new, it's something unique, and something from the past that I've never seen before, or I just think it's different and I like it, and I think somebody else will like it. So I always have to research items, and I have to research dates for these items. So if you're looking for a particular niche to start and you just don't know what to choose, think about, what do you like? What are you into? What have you been into your whole life? Do you like reading? Maybe you know a lot about books. Maybe that's a good category. If you are into the vintage and older things and history, maybe that's the category you want to go into. If you like cars, what about die-cast model cars, model airplanes, whatever your interests are, and what are you good at? Maybe you've belonged to a company that you've done something that you're really good at, and maybe there's a product that's associated with that. And there's so many variations of what you could sell. You just need to narrow it down for yourself. In my store, I sell anything and everything I can find that I know will make money. So I've got clothes, shoes, vintage items, new stuff, new and package items. It's a wide range of, I mean, even toys, glasses, kitchenware, anything and everything. So that's how I got started. Everybody's got their own direction and likes that they'll go into. If you pick something that you don't like doing, like me and action figures, I don't know any of the new action figures. I'm not up on any of that, and I've bought them before, but I get frustrated with it because I don't know what kind of characters these all are, and I know some have a lot of value in video games I don't enjoy, but there are people that will solely sell video games and look for them at every sale they go to. So it just depends on you. And don't wait forever to start, because like I said, you learn as you go. Now, the number 5 is you need to learn about shipping. It is very, very important, because you can lose money on a deal, but don't let this scare you off. You have to just learn. And I can give you there's 3 main types of shipping. And if you just memorize these 3 types, then you can at least start somewhere. And you can veer off and find different ways of shipping from these 3 types. This is my interpretation of the shipping. I know there's going to be other views out there, but this is just a simplified way of thinking about shipping. If you have a box that is under 1 pound, ship it USPS first class. There's nothing cheaper, and if there is, it's going to be a lot more difficult to find, because that's the easiest way to ship a box that's 1 pound or less. Now, some people will say 15 ounces or less because 16 ounces is 1 pound. Just think of it as 1 pound or less. You put in a first class envelope or a first class, you just put in a regular box and ship it. 1 pound or less is first class, period. The second thing, the second type is priority, which is 1 pound or more, or 1.1 ounce or more. So there's a lot of variations of priority, but just do your basic priority, 1 pound, 1.1 pound or more. So first class is 1 pound or less, priority is 1 pound or more. That's just remember that. Now, if you have a big box and heavy, then you might want to consider FedEx or UPS. But the other two types is the majority of things we ship out is either first class or priority. If you get into electronics like VCRs, VHS systems, things like that, radios, they'll probably go FedEx or UPS. Now, I don't have a UPS store real close. It's about 15 miles away, so you might as well figure 30 minutes away, because there and back you get a write-off that on your taxes. FedEx, I have a local car dealership that will take them, so you can maybe find somewhere to drop them off. But that's the 3 basic types for shipping. Once you learn them 3 things and memorize them, then you can move on to the variations, especially with priority. First class doesn't have a whole lot of variation to it, but priority does. And I don't want to go into that and confuse you anymore right now, but just remember, first class 1 pound or less, priority 1 pound or more, and large packages look into FedEx or UPS. So that's about it. I wanted to cover the 5 things with you to help you prepare yourself to starting a store. The next video is going to walk you through the step-by-step putting together your account on eBay. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you, and I hope you got value out of this. If you did, click the like button and subscribe, and look for the next video so we can get you set up. All right, thank you for joining us, and have a great night.